What is up everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, quickly we'll be looking at how Game Week 31 got on, but most importantly looking ahead to Game Week 32, Game Week 33 as well, thinking about potential players we might want to bring in for both of those game weeks, my team selection, my transfer plans, my captaincy, my benching headaches, all of the good things like that. Before we do that, a quick review of how we're getting on so far in Game Week 31. So of course I'm recording before the final game of the game week, which is that Burnley versus Everton fixture. I do still have Pope to play and Weghorst to play, so hoping for a single return from one of these two just to give me something a little bit of a boost at the end of the game week. But if we look elsewhere in my team, Robertson with a 6. So those of you with Trent, unlucky that he didn't play. Robertson, I was pleased with him starting and getting that clean sheet. White and Arsenal, they fell apart. We'll ignore White, Saka and Odegaard because that Arsenal performance just doesn't need discussing anymore. Barnes with a 2, Salah, captain blank, Weghorst, Pope, but it was the Tottenham guys that really boosted my game week and I'm sure boosted a lot of your game weeks as well. So Doherty 14, Kulusevski and Kane. Let me know in the comments if you are one of the people that owns both Doherty and Son, you would have had a monster game week. You can see on my bench, I did bench Ollie Watkins for his 9 points, so very unfortunate. That was a sort of make or break decision for me this game week. If I'd have started him, we'd be looking at a very good game week score. However, I am on a small red arrow, so I'm on 46 points with a -4 so far this week. Of course, with 2 left to play, 2.3 million game week rank, moving my overall score up to 2,076. A red arrow from 21 to 24k, so I need about 2 returns from Weghorst or Pope in order to give me a green arrow, which I think is very unlikely, although they are playing an Everton team who have definitely struggled in recent weeks. So not a great one, but again, with a -4, if I didn't take a -4, I'd be pretty close to that green arrow mark. I'm looking ahead to Game Week 33 with that -4 as well, bringing in 2 players with a double game week. So I'm still pretty happy with how it's gone so far, just holding rank as I continue to wait for that Game Week 34 wildcard. So just a reminder, I am planning on playing my wildcard in Game Week 34. So a lot of my transfer plans are focused on bringing in players for Game Week 32 and 33 because I won't need them for the final run-in of the season after I play my wildcard. So this means that my potential transfers out are 3 players, Robertson, Watkins and Odegaard. So Robertson or Trent could go. I have a lot more value tied up in Trent, so Robertson is probably the one that I would sell because I do think that I want both of them included on my wildcard. Now, Robertson has looked good, but Manchester City and then Manchester United in the next 2, I definitely think there are defenders that could outscore him over that run. I am looking at Rhys James, who does have Southampton and now an Arsenal team with no real left back to want to play up against Rhys James, so I think there's a good chance he gets some returns there. Watkins, again, no fixture for Aston Villa in Game Week 33, although I could bench him. There are some other forwards that I would potentially look at. And finally, Odegaard, although he doubles in Game Week 33, I don't expect very much from him given the fixtures and given the way he's been returning. 1 return now in the last 10 game weeks. I am just holding him because of the doubles, because he played in the blank, etc, etc. But he doesn't seem to be getting me any points. So I may end up selling him this week or next week to bring in someone who I think is a better pick for that double in 33. In terms of those replacements, up front, I'm first of all looking at Chris Wood. Now, he's one of the highest predicted point scorers for the forward line over the next few. There aren't that many I could choose from. If Vardy is not fit, I do like the look of Iheanacho as well as a potential replacement, but those forwards are pretty difficult. Newcastle double game week in Game Week 33 is very nice, which is why I am considering Chris Wood for my team. Rhys James in the middle there. Again, I mentioned him. I think the next 2, although he doesn't have a double in 33, he's got a great chance of being one of the highest scoring defenders over the next 2 games. I could go up to Cancelo, although I don't quite have enough in the bank unless I then sell Robertson, which I could do. I could also upgrade a Marty to Rhys James as well instead of selling Robertson, so I could keep the value that I have in him. But no double for James, but I do still think he is a good option. Let's see how Chelsea perform against Real Madrid tonight. And finally, Maddison, a really nice double next week. Crystal Palace at home this week. Although Crystal Palace have looked better, I still expect Leicester to score some goals. Maddison's goal involvement is really good. I already have Barnes, and I think the double up for Game Week 33 could be really nice. So Odegaard up to Maddison is definitely a transfer I am considering. Replace one double game week player with another one as well. So potential transfers in would be Wood, James and Maddison. Just to summarise though, of course, Robertson, Watkins, Odegaard out. So it would be Robertson to James, Watkins to Chris Wood or Odegaard to Maddison. I have 1 free transfer, and unlike the past few game weeks, there's no chance I take a hit unless there's big injuries in the Champions League. But I know that my Liverpool players have come through unscathed, so I'm not going to need to sell those. So I'm not going to be taking a hit what feels like the first game week in about 2 months, and I'm not going to be taking one. It does feel good, so a maximum of 1 transfer will be made going into Game Week 32. So with that in mind, let's have a look at how I could line up for Game Week 32 and predicted and planned transfers. So We start off by adding in our double Burnley option in Pope and Weghorst, both with Norwich away. It's a good fixture. Norwich have been struggling. It is a big 6-pointer. This could be a cagey affair. Weghorst hasn't looked that great in front of goal. Again, I'm hoping for something for Everton to boost his confidence ahead of this game and then the double in 33. Pope, again, Norwich have not been great in front of goal, but it is at Norwich, which means I do favour the home team to score more likely than when they are away. But these two in there, it is a good fixture on paper, partly of the reason why I bought both of them last week. Now, on top of that, we add triple Liverpool. Now, I am starting Robertson, Trent and Salah, and that means that I don't plan on selling Robertson to Rhys James. So that's one transfer that we can cut off the table at the moment. It is a difficult fixture, but if there are goals that are going to be scored, the chances are that one of these three is going to have to be involved. Yes, Diaz, yes, Mane, yes, Jota could score, but the chances that none of these three get a goal involvement, I think, is pretty low. The set piece chance for Van Dijk with Robertson and Trent crossing it in means I do want to start them, despite me not thinking that there's that much of a high chance of a clean sheet. So they're all in there. Not the best fixture, but we know what Liverpool can do. On top of that, we add double Arsenal. So no Odegaard in my starting lineup. White and Saka start at home to Brighton. Brighton, a team who are really struggling. They're on the beach a little bit. At home for Arsenal, they'll want to be bouncing back after that loss to Crystal Palace. It's a home fixture as well. I am expecting some returns from these two. Hopefully they can get it for me after what was a disappointing display in game week 31. Next up, on top of that, we add our final midfielder before adding in the Tottenham boys in Barnes. Crystal Palace at home, I did, not expect that much of him against Manchester United in game week 31. Barnes is back in, of course, starting. It's a good fixture. Palace did look good against Arsenal, but as I said with Maddison, I do think there's a chance that Barnes gets something for me in this game. And finally, to complete my lineup, we do have triple Tottenham. So Doherty, Kulusevski and Harry Kane all will start for me again against Aston Villa in game week 32. This means on my bench, Odegaard, Watkins and Marty remain, and I plan on rolling my transfer going into game week 32. I don't really feel like anything is essential enough to go and use a transfer on when I could roll my transfer, have 2 free transfers going into game week 33 to bring in and play real double game week players and target that week before I play my wild card. Captaincy wise, Kane is going to be my captain. I have no doubt about that. Saka, potentially my vice. Also Harvey Barnes at the moment has my vice captaincy, but I'm not completely decided on that. But I do think that Kane will be absolutely fine to play. Let me know your questions about your team in the comment section down below. Please do like the video, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts about my team if you would make any transfers. Thank you all very much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll be back again very soon.